Welcome to Peter King's training camp tour presented by Die Hard Batteries and Advance Auto Parts. Peter King here at Raiders camp in Nevada with Davante Adams, the newest Raider. Davante, 2013, the last time you played with Derek Carr.
Yeah.
131 catches at Fresno State, 24 touchdowns. What was your chemistry like then, and what's it like now?
Well, I mean, Derek talked about it a little bit, I think, yesterday, and maybe a little bit in the past. I mean, we got off to a great start because as soon as I got there, I did redshirt, but, you know, it wasn't very common, I feel like, at that point for guys to be throwing with some of the redshirt guys. Usually it's the guys that are just playing, but he would kind of push me up to the front of the line with some of those guys that were, you know, the starters at that point, just in anticipation for, you know, what was, to come, just based off, I guess, what he had seen from me. So we kind of had a chance to build some of that camaraderie early on, and then, you know, we gelled early, and he was obviously one of my good friends. So when you're good friends, that can obviously help your connection on the field as well. So spent a lot of time together, and obviously on the field, doing what we did, and then we were able to kind of take some of that onto, you know, game days and make a lot of that. And you know, I was one of those targets for him, and became kind of a reliable guy for him, and you know, just kind of built off of that and took it into that next year. You know, that was early on, and then took it into that next year, my first year redshirt, and or my redshirt freshman year rather, where, you know, we were able to kind of put some production together and then snowball into that next year. We started off decently quick, and then, you know, once we got to kind of like the middle of the season, that's when things kind of really took off. And then, you know, I started building more confidence in myself. He built more confidence in himself. And from that, you know, the connection, you know, continued to build. And, you know, 24 touchdowns later, we were able to kind of put together a decent resume.
So when you went to the Packers, he went to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think you would play on a team with Derek Carr?
I mean, you never know, man. Once you kind of go separate ways like that, you never really think that it's going to happen. You know, obviously know, you know, at some point it possibly can happen, but a lot of things kind of got to go right. You know, they had Amari Cooper here for a while too, as well. So, you know, at that point, I'm thinking, you know, it's not likely. But then things shift on, and then, you know, time goes by, and then you see opportunity, and then you know, you execute like how we did now and make it a reality.
Do you think you're here more because you couldn't reach a financial agreement with the Packers, or more because you really wanted to be in Las Vegas?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot went into it. Obviously, I'd have to sit here with you until tomorrow talking about everything. But you know, it was mainly what I felt was best for myself, my career, and my family. Being here, you know, closer to home, being able to have my family have an opportunity to come and see me play more. Being in Green Bay, it's not the easiest place to get to. It's, you know, my grandma had never been and seen me play.
Your grandmother never was in Lambeau Field?
Never been in Lambeau Field. So to be able to be closer to home, and obviously playing with one of my, you know, great friends since, you know, for 10 years plus, you know, obviously that was a big factor for me.
What would you say is the biggest difference between catching a football from Aaron Rodgers and catching a football from Derek?
That's probably the most frequently asked question, and I never have a great answer for it. You know, they're both great quarterbacks, and they both can put the ball wherever they pretty much want to. So there's a lot of similarities, but, you know, going from anytime you change quarterbacks, it's going to be an adjustment. So getting back on the same page with Derek is what I'm interested in now.
What's your memory, your fondest memory, your legacy thought about your career in Green Bay?
That's a tough question. I mean, there's millions of things that run through my head when I think about my time there. I mean, you spend 8 years. I've never been on a team for, you know, the same team for 8 years in my career, whether it was, you know, high school or whatever. You know, you get 4 years there, and I only played 2. And then in Fresno, I played 2 years. So it's tough to really match what you know, the great experiences that I had out there. You know, amazing fan base. You know, obviously was able to get deep into the playoffs multiple times. I mean, I played in 4 NFC Championship games, so you know, it's tough to pinpoint one thing in particular, but many memories, a lot of people that a lot of connections between coaches and players that, I really cherish those times that I had with those guys. And yeah, had a blast out there for, almost a decade now. So yeah, a lot of good people, a lot of good times.
It looks like you've got some really good weapons that you're playing with.
Yeah.
You look out there and you see particularly like Darren Waller, who is just kind of a man among boys as a tight end. But how do you look at the sort of the weaponry that you guys have here with the Raiders and how it might impact your game?
Well, I'm surrounded by a bunch of playmakers, a lot of guys that have been doing it for, at a high level for some time now. So it just makes, my job easier. It makes it tougher on defenses, obviously. You got plenty of guys. Our entire offense is weapons. So it doesn't mean anything until you put the work in and really go out there and reprove it year after year, really game after game. So we're just trying to stack days right now and get to a point where we're happy and we can really maximize our potential.
You're in a tough division.
Yeah.
Really tough.
Mm-hmm.
How do you look at that right now?
It's a challenge for sure, but that's, the type of players that we have on this team, the mentality that we have that's what's, excites me most about coming to the Raiders is knowing that, it's never going to be easy. We never got to, but that's kind of what keeps guys on their toes, really. You play your best ball when you have to kind of rise to the occasion, and we definitely have to do that week in and week out.
Do you believe you'll finish your career with the Raiders?
I hope so. I can't. I'm not really looking past today right now. I still got a long day ahead of us today, so trying to really focus on that. See, what I can do. The first game I enter with the Raiders, and as we progress and make a lot of, main thing is I'm really enjoying my teammates, really enjoying the coaches and the everybody on the third floor. So it's been amazing so far, and just trying to focus on day after day right now.
Thanks, Davante. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Peter King here at the Raiders for NBC Sports.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.